Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the FauxShow. Today is Sunday, November 9th. My name is Angela.
And my name is Chris.
And as most of you know, the FauxShow is not a real show. It is a social experience because I don't look at you.
What?
Oh my god, that was loud. I look at the chat room, which I have here on my iPad.
Oh, the chat room? I got that as full screen.
Look at that shoulder. Whoa! Keep going. We're
on my screen. And of
your
course,
professionalism.
more important than ever.
The best lower third on the
lower
internet.
third, you guys.
But today,
yes,
there's something even, well, not
more
even
epic.
awesomer. No. Whoa, don't put down the lower third.
Lower third, I love you, baby.
Equally awesome.
As almost impressive as the lower third that's been specifically embedded into our video, it is our mumble room. And I just want to take this moment in time. On November 9th, 2014, a Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Just hi, Mumble Room.
Time appropriate greens, Mumble Room.
24.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Oh, yeah.
That is... Okay, that is so awesome.
That was really cool. So there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
They're just,
chillaxing.
Yep, waiting to discuss
Passwords.
your password.
Yeah, your password sucks.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about it today. And you got to stop right now and just have some real talk with us on the FauxShow. We got to talk about your password. And it really all was kind of kicked off by an email we got from a viewer.
Yep, that's right. So when we did the most annoying things in technology? About technology? I can't remember.
That sounds like if we haven't done that show, we should do.
I think it was 197. But anyway.
You mean like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. GX wrote in saying, "Hi, Andrews and Chris.
Well, hello.
When Chris said he wanted some ideas about things that bug me on the internet during last pre-show, I was too lazy to open IRC and thought you guys would probably get it anyway. Well, surprise, surprise, you missed it, and I don't see how.
You see how much that bugs me?
It's such a big issue, you can probably do a whole show on it. That is an awesome idea.
Huh.
Here we are. It's passwords. All aspects of passwords, and not just passwords, but logins too. I know we can't do without them, but here is what bugs me. And there is a list of 9 things that bugs GX. And we're just going to go through them and see what the...
Can I tell you just right up before he even gets into these lists how much I hate passwords?
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's do it.
Okay, so number 1, people forget their passwords. Before the good old days of social networks, I set up a gallery for family photos so if my family abroad could see them. The thing is, they never logged in to use it and constantly forgot their passwords. Totally happens.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, Mom, what's your Wi-Fi password?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Hey, Grandpa, what's your Wi-Fi password? Don't know. Hey, Dad, what's your Wi-Fi? Don't know. Hey, Grandma, don't know. Hey, Aunt, don't know.
What?
None of them know.
What?
We go to...
What? What was that last one?
Well, like...
Not me.
Here's the worst part. No.
Oh, okay.
Like, we gave Wi-Fi access points to our family for Christmas, and they changed the passwords, and they don't know what they changed them to. It is the worst. People cannot keep track of their passwords. Like, the other one that I find really common in IT support is I go to work on somebody's website for them, and they have no idea what like their web login is to manage their account or their DNS login to manage their domain name. They've completely lost track of it. This is a super common problem.
All right, so Mumble Room, do you have any input on forgetting passwords?
Passwords, the whole system is like system is designed to be broken. I mean, it's not going to work.
No.
Okay, so as complicated as you can make it. What I hate are systems that don't let you actually put in a passphrase, but require like certain numbers and combinations of stuff.
Sure.
Oh,
There's a real
I'll write that down.
Just make all the passwords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's easy.
There's a real simple solution to all of this, and that is to write your password down.
Right.
Just write them all down.
Yeah, and put them under your keyboard.
Sticky notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so he's got...
Put them right by your computer.
Have a little book.
That's funny. You know what I find interesting
Put
is
them on your computer.
Is like PIN codes, you know? A 4-digit number. I know it's the 4 factorial, so there's like a lot of different combinations, but it seems like it could easily be figured out.
Yeah. Actually, the thing about PIN systems is if you can look at the fingerprints, you can almost see see what 4 buttons they're pressing, and then from that you can limit it really down.
Yeah.
But he had 9 points, right? He had like things. Did you want to go through them?
Yeah. Number 2 is having to create a login for each site to download content or post comments is so annoying.
Oh, and I'll here's what's the worst actually is like Twitter. or Google, where I've got 3 or 4 different accounts. And when I worked for somebody, like I also did their Twitter account.
Yep.
So I had the company that I worked for, their Twitter login, my Twitter login, plus a show Twitter login, and like some generic service. And I had like 3 or 4 passwords. And to this day, under Firefox, like if I go there and I try to log in under Twitter, screw you, Chris. Go screw yourself. There's too many. Like I've got 3 or 4 different combinations. They all automatically populate. It's a mess.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then you have LastPass.
Well, that's what's doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
right.
it's yeah.
My favorite on that regard or whatever is when I went to do something in Twitter, reauthorize it, and for the Instagram app, it automatically logged me in as Mini Nessie. I was like,
Mini Nessie from my chat room.
I could not get it to get off of that and get to my name.
So you were posting as Mini Nessie?
No, I couldn't post because I couldn't remember the password.
Oh.
Not that I was trying. I just but it's almost like I had to enter the password just to get out of it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But Mumbles, anybody got a comment on what was it?
Managing multiple logins.
Oh yeah, you know what I do? Is,
You know what's the biggest offender? Hold on, I gotta ask.
Okay.
Anybody in the mumble room have this situation where you've got 1 or 2 Google accounts, and so what you end up doing is having different browsers for different
Yes.
Google accounts? Anybody in the mumble room do that?
No,
Yes.
you set the
FAA.
profiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do that for
profiles.
I do that for
works fine.
Patreon right now.
Yeah.
So
I
Google
have
has
this-
a feature where you can actually be logged in multiple at the same time and just use bookmarks to track which one you're on.
You know what? Thank
Hi,
goodness.
Chris.
Go ahead.
They're adding
Sorry, I
a
was going to say
profile
I
switching
use
system.
I use Reddit Enhancement Suite for the 2 Reddit accounts I've got.
Yeah, that works. Private windows also works, like JMac has mentioned in the chat room. That's another way to manage it. So I have one account that's my main account, and I'm always logged into that. And then when I need to get to the 3 or 4 different accounts, or sometimes 5 different frickin' Google accounts, I open up a private window that's sessionless. Like after I close the window, everything I've done in there is gone. It's like,
Totally.
and then that's what I use to log into those accounts. It is so
Yep.
clunky.
Thank goodness, like sometime in the last 7 or so years, a lot of websites defaulted to the username being your email, which
Yes.
thank goodness, because
Yes.
you couldn't be Angela F everywhere if
Right.
if
Yeah.
you're late to the game. So
Yeah.
that really helped that. And then passwords, like you're not supposed to use the same password on all these different websites.
No.
So what I try to do is incorporate a word after my usual password for the reason why I use that site.
Whoa.
An underscore is awesome. You know, like if you have a good password that you've memorized,
Yeah.
add an underscore and then another word and some numbers, and
Exactly.
you're pretty good. I mean, it's hard to crack.
So let's take Angela's example and apply
Give us the
Skooky Sprite's formula of an underscore. So if I was at youporn.com, I would do password underscore masturbation.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
Great example.
I think that's a good example.
I would prefer wank.
Okay. All right. Now you've
Okay.
got a couple
Number
of
three.
unless you want to
Oh,
keep going, you do
what?
have a couple of crowdfunding initiatives that we could sort of slip in right here that kind of hope to address this problem forever.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I
play
was
that.
like, what are you getting
Yeah,
at?
this first one we talked a little bit on Linux Unplugged. It's based on, the name is based from a movie that I love called Fifth Element. It's called Multipass. And once you play this, they will solve our password problems
Login
forever.
and passwords are an integral part of our daily lives. They are what prevent malicious users from doing harmful things with our personal data. People tend to use the same credentials for the different websites they visit. However, recent news has taught us that credentials stored by websites are compromised on a daily basis, which means that once an attacker gets your credential set, he can use it on other websites. This is why using different passwords for different websites is important. Remembering many different passwords is difficult, and one option is software-based password keepers. Essentially, they store an encrypted credentials database on your computer. To unlock this database, you would enter a passphrase, which means that at some point, both your passphrase and database must be stored in your computer or smartphone's memory. Therefore, a malicious program could gain access to both and compromise all your passwords at once without you knowing it. To solve this problem, we introduce the Multipass. an offline password keeper aimed at saving and encrypting your passwords in a more secure manner. The main device contains your encrypted passwords, while a secure smart card and a PIN code allows their decryption.
All right, so let's pause right here. So this is a hardware device that stores your passwords that you have connected over USB. Are you grokking it so far, Andrews?
Okay.
All right, let's continue on.
Even if an attacker gets hold of your encrypted database or smart card, it is completely useless without your personal code. And don't worry, we implemented the possibility to make backup copies of your credential database and smart card without compromising your system's security.
So you can have backups, and before it'll deploy your password into the computer, you have to give the hardware device your authorization PIN code, something you know.
As opposed to software-based solutions, the multipass only runs our tested code independently of your computer. This means viruses or malicious programs cannot compromise your credential database or PIN, neither of which are directly accessible from the computer. Furthermore, our product is open source, allowing you to make sure that your credentials are only kept inside the device and not leaked to the outside. And with Multipass, you can be sure that your credentials are only in the computer's memory when needed, and when you explicitly permit the Multipass to send them.
All right,
that's
so
interesting.
It is really interesting.
Is
So
that does that work with like Mac?
anything that I think
products?
supports like a
Or Apple
keyboard
products?
USB human interface device?
Wow.
Yeah. And we talked a little about this Unplugged. Popey, do you remember when we talked about this? What were your thoughts when we discussed this on Tuesday?
I still think people should just write their passwords down.
Better than a hardware device. It's like you figure.
Seriously, all of this stuff goes away if you write your passwords down and don't store them in the cloud and don't store them on a computer and don't store them on a device anyway. You just put them on a piece of paper and hide the piece of paper. Job done.
Until your kids hack your computer.
Or your house burns down.
Oh, my daughter did that. She watched me like years ago. I found a piece of paper and it had the PIN number for the Nintendo Wii written on it. And it turns out that my daughter had seen me type it in once and she wrote it down on a piece of paper and hid it somewhere. So I have hackers in my own house.
Yeah. So you still think, though, writing it down is good enough as long as you have. So what about, like Ange says, your house burns down, you got to rebuild somewhere else. Don't you need these in some sort of cloud-based protection service?
If my house burns down, I've got bigger things to worry about than the password for any email.
Nothing's more important than your passwords.
Yeah. Oh my
Priorities, people.
So
Exactly.
Worried about my burning house.
Rotten Corpse
A device
says
that'll let.
Rotten Corpse says that LastPass solves all the issues. Not sure why it's not used by all.
What do you think, Rotten Corpse? Should everybody just switch to LastPass and stop dicking around?
Well, yeah, it's the easiest thing to do because the whole, one password for every website. And I actually prefer to have to sign up to another password. When they say, here's a single sign-on with Facebook or Google, that annoys me because I'd rather have a separate password because I know that when one's compromised, it's not compromising everything. And with LastPass, like people talk about, well, isn't it, insecure because it's in the cloud? Well, it's all encrypted and decrypted locally, so the stuff that's stored on the cloud is complete garbled gibberish that even if they got access to, they have no ability to get to it.
And you should mention you can augment it with things like two-factor authentication, and they support a lot of different two-factor authentication systems.
Yep.
Or a YubiKey.
They do the same thing that this that multipass thing does. With you can have a USB key with the thing called Open Sesame with LastPass.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Ange?
Well, so what I don't understand is like I don't use LastPass,
Multipass.
but sometimes I get on his computer.
Heyo, just check and see what I've been looking at.
No, and it says you do want to log in with LastPass. Like, couldn't I just click yes or click on the little pop up and just log into all your stuff?
You can set LastPass to save all of that, but in mine, you at minimum have to have my two-factor code. So you have to have my smartphone.
Okay, so you still have to enter something in every. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to enter my whole password username. On some computers, it's just the two-factor. I choose what level you have to authenticate at.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of neat. Now, we had some more points on his email here, don't we?
Yep. Sites that have silly rules like username has to be between 8 and 13 characters long and contain the letter N. Password is too long. Your password can't be longer than 5 characters, etc. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen like your password has to have lowercase, capitalize, a symbol, and a number. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all of that.
Q5Sys points out that Coinbase has a really nice two-factor system. I agree. Coinbase has really got it right. Yeah.
Mumble room, anything on silly rules on usernames and passwords?
Oh my god! Like, the thing that kills me is like, okay, fine, screw that. Why not just allow me to enter a passphrase, for God's sake?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's so much more secure. It's easy for the user to remember. You don't have to write it down, and it's very difficult to crack. I mean, 50 characters is pretty hard to crack.
Okay. I feel like a LastPass fanboy, but this stuff still doesn't even matter because you create an auto-generated password. You just say, they say add a symbol in it. Okay, you just checkbox symbol, auto-generate password. You don't have to care. It logs it. You don't even have to remember it all. You remember your one password. Yeah. That's it.
And go ahead.
If someone compromised my local machine or my browser, there's the possibility that someone could get to my LastPass database because once it's unencrypted, it's in memory in my browser.
And screw them getting to your LastPass database if they're actually have physical access to your machine at that point. I mean, they can just do whatever the hell they want.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
and that's my problem with LastPass. But I think it's a great solution for the average user.
There's something even worse here. LastPass uses the tabs permission. When it comes to authoring from extensions, the tabs permission is very powerful when it comes to accessing other tabs that the browser has open. So KeePass has that weakness. If any browser extension is taken over or malicious, it can go into the KeePass extension and pull them out from it.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. In fact, that's something that
I code, so that's why I have to bring this up. The ones that I use, I only use active tab. It only has the active tab permission.
So using LastPass is sort of like, it's like you have to sort of trust the LastPass organization.
And all the other tabs or extensions that you use.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You do. You have to. But if you're truly into like IT security and you're truly into this, like you start with the assumption that your computer is compromised. You start there,
absolutely.
Right? And that's hard for a lot of people. And I think that's really what this email is kind of getting to.
You know what I just thought of? You know that whole go to work so that you can pay
your
for
bills,
your stuff,
and
just,
and then you go home so that way you can have fun, and you work so that way you can buy the things you want. But
and so it's cyclical like that. Like I feel like there's a meme and something about password storage that we're going to see in the future, like about, remember when you used to do this, and this? It only needed to be.
Oh, totally. I feel like I'm already living in it. Yeah. Oh, he's got a few more points there on his email?
Number 4, password management has become a nightmare. If you're not using something to keep track of all your passwords, how will you remember which sites you registered on and what your username and password you used? And don't suggest have a common username and password. You will get Alan from TechSnap started on that's a bad idea.
That's true. Yeah. That is very true.
Yep.
Now, we do have one more crowdfunding video that is all about storing your passwords securely. Now, this one is much more trendy because it's wearable and it's on Kickstarter, unlike our last one. It's called Every Key, and it wants to put your passwords on your wrist. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's a password
Well, the other one was on Indiegogo.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
The keys and passwords that you use today keep your life secure, but they're a huge hassle. For 2 years, we've been developing a product that replaces your keys and passwords with one easy-to-use device. Our product removes the stress of forgetting your keys and losing your passwords, while providing even better security than what you have now.
Meet Every Key, a stylish wristband that unlocks your life. Every Key utilizes military-grade encryption, allowing only you access to your personal property and accounts. Like a credit card, you can instantly disable your Every Key if it gets lost or stolen. Every Key takes less than a minute to set up, and then it works seamlessly, unlocking your devices when you're around and locking them down when you're not. Our patent-pending use of low-power Bluetooth allows Every Key to communicate securely with an unlimited number of devices at once at a customizable range. It also makes logging into websites a breeze. Every Key securely stores your password as you log into a website for the first time and then logs you in automatically the next time you visit that website. When registering at a website, you have the option to use your own password or allow Every Key to create a complex and random password. It's even water resistant, so you can use it throughout your entire day and you'll only need to charge it about once a month. If you accidentally leave your Every Key behind, your phone will alert you, and you can easily deactivate it at any time just by calling us or going to everykey.com. We'll overnight you a new wristband at a discount, and you can use your old keys and passwords in the meantime.
All right.
Welcome to the revolution of access control.
Everything you just saw demonstrates real technologies that work today. Now we'd like to share with you our vision for tomorrow. We plan to release an SDK which allows other access control technologies to seamlessly integrate with Every Key. That means your wristband could unlock and start your car, unlock your house door, turn on your lights, and even replace your credit cards. Think of all the possibilities.
We designed Every Key from the ground up with fashion as our North Star. We applied the same methods as a haute couture fashion brand, placing meticulous attention to detail with absolute precision, resulting in an elegant and sleek product without compromise in aesthetic or performance.
All right, Andrews, what do you think about the Every Key? They want to replace every single key you have, your logins to your websites, even to your house. They've got 788 backers, 52,000 of 100,000 goal, 20 days to go. Now, you might remember, I don't know, you may or may not. Do you remember the name Amel?
Yes.
And can you describe what Amel?
He installed, or I guess inserted RFID tags into his hand. Yeah.
RFID tags right here into his hand. So that way he could go up to his house and unlock his doors. And he put RFID receivers in his computer and in his car so he could unlock his doors. He had a chip. And you can look Amel, A-M-A-L, Grafsta, if you can spell that. And you can find out about it. Now, this is what Amel did, who I worked with for years, without having to actually put an RFID chip in your hand. The idea here is this is something you have. It verifies your identity because it's on your person. And this could potentially solve having to ever enter a password again. You walk up to a door, this reads it. You log into your computer, you go to Facebook, and you put this next to your computer. It reads this. Would you use this?
I feel like this is, you know, the old Western. No, it wouldn't be an old Western. I feel like this is the cutting somebody's hand off to get into a door thing.
Oh.
But you don't even need to cut their hand off. All you do is wait for them to go to sleep. Because they're almost certainly not wearing it in their sleep.
Like,
so you can take
just
it off
bring the laptop over and do this thing.
Oh, yeah, all you need to do is read it. Yeah.
What if you lost your wristband and your phone?
Right. Well, and
you borrow somebody else's phone.
And to be totally honest, isn't this going to be implemented in every smartwatch going forward?
Yeah.
Like, this is going to become a bullet point feature on a box, right?
True. The thing is, like, basically, in terms of, like, okay, so, like, everyone's seen the hacking videos of people, ripping off, these kinds of devices, although Q5 makes a really good point that, like, it's evidently only, like, within 1 inch.
Yes,
but,
it's very close.
So it's difficult to sniff, but, I mean, and also, like, what about government's war against encryption these days? That makes it super harder.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like we're at a point where it's sort of a little bit of the boiling lobster or frogs, whatever, where you get in the water and you use your login to do a few things online. And then as time progresses and technology and all of these things you've signed up for do more and more, all of a sudden this login that you created is responsible for so many more things. I know this definitely happened to me with my Google account. Like,
jeez, no kidding.
Like, it became my Gmail at first, like 6-7 years ago. That was my Gmail login. Now it is everything. I manage the Jupiter Broadcasting YouTube account with it, my Google AdWords, my analytics, my Google Plus profile, and my YouTube account with
not by choice.
Right. And it's just expanded, and I almost feel like I didn't really sign up for this. And
or like all these new apps that are coming out, login as Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is very interesting.
Or with Facebook.
That is, in my sense, sort of the more important thing. But first, before we get into that, because that's a huge aspect, I want to send it to Q in the Mumble Room. He's got an idea about fashion and open source and all this. Q, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have 3 comments on this. I mean, I think it is a better solution as opposed to multipass. And that, well, I don't see myself using multipass on my phone, for example. I mean, it is an okay solution for my PC, but on different devices, it's not very mobile in that sense.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So there's that limitation.
Multipass.
what I took from the video is that they took fashion as a primary reason to design the device.
Yeah.
And I would like to have heard that they would have taken security as a primary concern. And well, fashion is also important, but security should be the very first bullet point.
What if you blend the two? Like no, hold on. What if it? Now I know this sounds really geeky, but tell me if you wouldn't buy this. It's a Fitbit, like say it's a Fitbit. It's a fitness tracker. It tracks your steps. It tracks your sleep and all of that. But it's a something you have, something you know, password verifier. Like it's a fitness tracker, but it also is like your password token thing. Would you be down for that?
I would be down for that.
Surely you're now explaining the bullet points that are on smartwatches. I mean, this thing, if I was wearing that, you look at the video where the woman sat on a chair and she makes a phone call and unlocks things.
Yeah.
And you can tell, she's got a little black dress on and that band, and that's it.
Yeah.
So if someone saw me with that band on, they'd say, oh, have you got some kind of funky new smartwatch? I'd say, no. Oh, what is it? It's got all my passwords in. Oh, really?
It's my password band. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, that's an interesting thing.
Let me grab that.
Devices at all.
Yeah.
They have to be like specific, maybe modules within a watch that doesn't have any connectivity back to your iPhone or back to your Android device that actually does the RFID connectivity itself.
Yeah.
It can't be like connected and part of the system, kind of like how cell phones have two different Wi-Fi and operating systems working at the same time.
But the problem is, if it's a separate device, apart from all of that, it's something. It's another thing you have to keep around. It's something else you have to take with you. It's something else you have to charge. It's just not going to happen.
If it's built into the watch, and then it would be okay, because a dedicated device is the only true way that a password management thing can be secure.
So what our faux mumble wisdom is coming to is that we have to have a watch in order to solve the password problem?
No, a piece of paper.
Okay, first of all, Popey's on the right track with that. But like the biggest concern for me is that like in terms of consumer electronics, this is going to be your identity. And Chris, you understand this more than more than most people do. Like, this is not just getting like your Facebook hacked.
It's your identity. It's you.
Presence.
Yeah.
It's totally you.
It's your signature. It's your stamp.
And it's going to be easy to hack, and you consolidate all of this into one little consumer device that people don't really understand. That's the idea of consumer electronics.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, big darkness soon come from this kind of pathway.
Can I spend money though?
What if you use something that is? What if you use something that is fingerprint based instead of a watch?
What do you think about that, Ange? Something Touch ID based, something like that.
Well, maybe if that actual wristband had a thumbprint reader on it.
Yeah.
But even that's easy to hack.
Yeah.
Especially, you knock the person out.
The solution is
simple. You can make
it's so simple.
Yeah. You've seen the Mythbusters episode.
No, I've already solved it.
Okay.
All we need.
Go ahead, Rod.
All we need is a thumbprint scanner, a retina scanner, a biometric with DNA with your hair,
Matrix,
and then maybe just in case, little icing on the top is a breathalyzer so you can't do drunk logins.
So so that's 4 different ID points. That's a little rough. Do we have any more?
Yes. Okay. So number 5 is
and
weak
a security guard.
Oh yeah, very sure. Yeah.
And a security guard
to watch over it all.
A dedicated security guard to watch over everything you do. Yeah. All right.
Okay, number 5 is weak passwords. We can skip that. Number 6, security questions. He says, like this really ever helped anyone. And I have an interesting story. I started paying somebody. I used the pay other people instead of bill pay recently, and POP is what it's called at BCU. And I had to go through some security questions, and it pulled from my credit report. Yeah. So it said, which of the following addresses have you ever lived at? And of course I recognized it. I answered that. And I don't remember what the second question was, but the third question was, what do you know about Juanita Fisher?
You have got to be kidding me.
And it said, this is my aunt, this is my grandma, this is a family friend, I don't know who this person is. I don't know who that person is.
Juanita Fisher. Can I just diverge here for a second?
Okay.
Juanita Fisher, whoever you are, Juanita, if you are watching this show right now, you have haunted the Fishers. We don't know who you are. We don't know why you haven't paid your bills. We don't know why people are calling
this isn't. No, this was a made up name.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking
not
about
the one that
somebody
we
else.
always. It's not the prank, or not the prank.
Because
It's not the collection calls that we're
because I'm
always
ready
receiving.
to destroy Juanita.
No, it's not
I
Juanita.
am Juanita Fisher.
Yeah. So anyway, I found
Run
that.
for your life.
I found that really interesting, but
Yeah. So there was like a little.
Is that for real?
Yeah, it was like a little testing you, right? It was testing you.
Yeah.
essentially.
See, the worst. It's the worst idea ever. They're so easy to like just to just call from people's like actual publicly available profiles. You know, these security questions. It's the worst idea ever.
That is
especially
because
all these sites use the same ones.
Yes.
What was your first
Yes.
pet?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. So you ask the person, what was your first pet? You know, like literally. You know.
Yes, it is bad because as somebody who wants to maybe, like, if I had a hostile intention, I could get access to that same information. I can look at those same things. I can ask those same questions to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, only if the person who's the target has released that information. I used to work with a guy who would hide his date of birth, even that one, his date of birth, let alone his parents' name or anything.
This guy had some good foresight.
Yeah, totally. I wished him happy, but the way I found out, I wished him happy birthday because Skype told me it was his birthday.
Oh my gosh, Skype.
And he said, "What? What are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, happy birthday." And he said, No, it's not my birthday. I said, "Oh, when is your birthday?" And he clammed up. And from that point onwards, for years, he would never tell anyone his date of birth.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Well,
where did your father go to school? Well, okay, fine. I look at you on Facebook. Okay, you're from Las Vegas. Okay, fine.
Right.
So I'm gonna guess Las Vegas. And then fine. Okay. Then I find out what your dad's name is. Then I look him up on Facebook, or I just use Google, and bam! All of a sudden, I become you.
So
here's where it is.
But what I've been doing is when I get asked a security question like that, I use KeyPass to generate a random answer.
And you and you save it there. Yes. So this is actually sort of something that's kind of interesting that's developing, and you guys are kind of touching on this, is give a bunch of fake answers. Right?
Yeah.
Give fake answers to your
consistent fake
But
answers.
then you have to keep track of your fake answers, and that's the hardest thing, because most of these fake answers are to questions that you're not going to get at you, the actual user who's trying to protect themselves, are not going to get asked these questions, and they're going to be kind. Juanita Fisher, though, that's hilarious.
You should be Juanita.
So
Skooky Sprite.
So get this
I am
though.
Juanita.
This is where the security questions failed. Fails.
We should all be Juanita Fisher.
Somebody that graduated the same year as me was on Facebook, and she said, "Hey, everybody, tell me where you were, the city you were born, and the hospital," or something like that.
On
for
Facebook?
fun. Yeah.
For fun?
Yeah, for fun. Yeah.
Like, give me your secret answer. You know,
and
for
so,
fun.
So I commented, "Hey, that's not a really good idea because it's a common security question, And she responded with like just totally what's the word?
Defensive.
Defensive. She ended up blocking me because I know, because she's like, "Oh, you just think you know everything. I guess you haven't changed." And I'm like,
Whoa!
I know.
Whoa!
I know. It was crazy. And like somebody else had already responded with their birth city, and she's like, "Well, don't worry. I don't even use that question when I fill out security stuff." I'm like, "You know what? No, I doubt that. Everybody, like it was so it's,
Yeah. No, hold on. Right now, everybody needs to become. Look at J-Mac. We've already got a Juanita Fisher 2 in the chat room. Juanita, spelled with a J.
Well,
I told you.
That's how it's spelled.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know you didn't know that. You don't know how to spell. I'm surprised you didn't say, why did you say Johnita?
Look at Juanita Fisher.
All right, perfect. Okay, so number 7 is image captchas required when logging in. I can never read those stupid things.
Oh, I hate them.
Okay, I'm not going to say what service, but last night I was trying to log in on my iPad for a half hour, and I couldn't get the captcha. It was the worst. I tried for a half hour to log in, and I couldn't get past the captcha.
Since 1999, I have been entering the license keys for like Windows installations for this guy. When he's doing computers and stuff.
I spent a half hour on the iPad trying to picture me tap tap tap, submit, nope, tap tap tap, submit. Nope. Tap tap tap.
Now imagine when you're drunk and it actually has
for 30 minutes.
it has a fail mechanism. So like, okay, now I have to open up, a confirmation email to make sure that someone isn't. Oh my God! It never ends.
Oh, it's the worst with the confirmation emails. It is the worst.
Yep. Well, so I was thinking, why didn't you just ask me? But I wasn't here. So, number 8, remember me. Keeping people logged in is just silly. Once the browser window is closed, they should have to log in again.
Mm-hmm.
Only in public libraries, but I mean, if it's your actual system.
Yeah, well, you know what I hate is when I say remember me and it only remembers
For
my
2 weeks.
username.
Or like, yeah.
Like I forgot that password the moment I checked that box saying remember me.
Yeah, the chat room figured out the real reason, and this is actually not even a joke.
Are you drunk? Would you like a simple game?
No, this is not even a joke. Hold on. Looks familiar. Angela, now we know the real reason Chris Last uses Linux. No license keys.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So, I'm not kidding. About 18, 19 years ago, I needed to build a router. And we didn't have a license key for Windows NT version 5. We didn't call it Windows 2000 back then. We were calling it NT5. And we were part of what was called the RDP team. And back then, RDP didn't stand for Remote Desktop Protocol. It stood for Rapid Deployment Team. I don't know why. P stood for Team. Microsoft. I don't know why.
Makes sense.
So we were deploying Windows 2000 as part of the RDP team. And we got to a point where we needed to deploy a router, and we couldn't deploy that router because we didn't know the license key. And I switched to Linux on that day because I knew that I could deploy Linux. So yes, I honestly, it comes down to like, these are problems that I have not been able to fix for a decade now. And I use LastPass, I use multi-factor passwords, all these kinds of things, and I still have a problem with it.
And I think that's kind of like what we've highlighted is that like these problems will be with us for forever.
Yes, they really are.
Chris,
until encrypted keys are consumer easily made available to consumer. You know what I'm talking about?
Next time I'm coming over to your part of the world, I'll bring some paper with me, and that'll sort you out.
So happy hacking.
Yeah, have at it. It's gonna be easy.
Moleskine, baby, Moleskine.
Yes.
I think yes.
The A4 standard.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's great that we are trying to solve the problem with ways to still remain our passwords.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I would really like to see is less and less systems require these nasty authentication systems. Like, there's things that you have a personality, that you have an identity, and maybe you could hold a service that actually goes and takes care of that has all the legal requirements and everything. Then you can allow like tokens for other sites.
Just so long as it's not a Facebook ID or a Google ID.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tokenization consolidation anyway, so like it's all bad to me.
The reason I say this is because ultimately we're just growing and growing. It probably will keep growing on the authentication systems that we need to use.
Yeah, I hope so.
And it's just a pain.
So
and a lot of them don't actually have a valid reason to actually require one. It's like just accessing some specific things because you paid that account for that amount. It's just insane.
I agree. Andrews,
I was waiting for my next close-up.
Go ahead, Andrews.
Number 9 was browsers remembering passwords for you. Why don't you just throw your security out the window?
That is a problem. And
that's what I do.
I'm a fan of that, actually.
Yeah, I like it. I like it today, but you know, in 5 to 10 years, like the whatever method, whatever magical method that browser is using to store your passwords.
Internet time, 2 years.
Yeah,
it's screwed. Yeah. But Chris, does it bother you? Okay, so you have like a bunch of these sorts of accounts. Does it bother you like when it remembers your account that you're not trying to actually post to?
Well, yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yep.
LastPass does that too.
All right, I'm going to read the rest of GX's email, which is after those 9 points that he had. He says, Chris, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, buddy, but seriously, how could you miss this one? I know you use LastPass, and it's a non-issue, but having all your eggs...
He is referring to my internet pet peeves, by the way.
Yes. Having all your...
I'm just showing him. That's the email. It's all right. It's cool.
Having all your eggs or nuts or balls, whatever you call them, in one basket is a bit risky, especially since that basket belongs to somebody else. And if they trip and fall, you might get hurt. So,
Baby,
Andrews,
are you going to trip and fall?
So, Andrews, I'm sorry it's a bit long-winded, and if you've already done a faux show on passwords, I suppose it's all in vain. Just thought I would give my 2 cents. Now, we did cover passwords just briefly in Faux Snap with Alan.
Yep.
About a year and a half ago now.
Yeah. Passwords are an ongoing jerk that we continually fight with and are never happy with, and it is for me at least, it is, I don't know about you, but I bet it's the same. It is a continuing point where I feel like I'm inadequate. Like I am not doing enough, even though I do more than enough, and I constantly am doing more than I should, and I have to go, like, there was a couple of days ago where, like, I forgot my phone at the office.
Juanita Pescadora.
and like, Angie's like, could you check this thing for me? And I'm like, no, I cannot, because my dual factor device is at the office, and I'm at home right now.
Yep.
Right?
That's what I was thinking earlier is, yeah, you get to the office to do a presentation or something, swipe your little wristband and it's dead. You know?
It's the worst.
That would really suck.
Play the data impossible password. That's like the
I know,
ultimate.
right? Yeah, where he goes and
Everything that's wrong about the whole system is right there.
Yeah, Skook's Bryce talking about data where he goes and he locks down the enterprise computer, and it's nuts.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to thank the Mumble Room for participating in this faux show. This was the first time we've ever done a Mumble faux show. And
yeah.
I think it was great.
On a topic that we all hate.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Mumble.
Uh-huh.
And join us on Monday. I want everybody here to show up on Monday.
Tomorrow.
Look at that huge list.
I know.
Right? 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We got a big episode tomorrow. We're gonna do a faux tech.
Big episode. Okay. Faux tech talk today.
I won't say any more than that. I'm not gonna reveal.
All right.
I'm leaving it at that.
Marine Corps birthday is tomorrow.
Who is this?
Whose birthday tomorrow?
Marine Corps.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, happy birthday, Marine Corps.
Poppy's friend too.
Yeah, and Popey. All right. Happy birthday. All right, Andrews, take us out.
All right. So next month, December 7th, we're doing Faux Show Awards. I do not have a single submission, so if you hurry up, you can be the first.
Oh, my goodness. Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com.
So tell us about your holiday traditions. Feel free to share embarrassing family pictures or show us one thing that you want this holiday season and consider including your Amazon wish list. And I speak for the small but growing number of women that watch the show that have tech-savvy husbands. Yes. We never know what to get our husbands.
So here's what she's saying. Husbands, if you want something, send it into the Faux Show. We will then showcase it to the wives. Yep. And then they will maybe buy it for you. Also, wives and husbands, because husbands, I know. If you have a recipe that is like your favorite family recipe for the holidays, send it in, Angela@JupiterBroadcasting.com.
Yep. So pictures, links, whatever you can do. Brief story, count 0. And that is it for this episode of The Faux Show. We'll see you next week for Faux Show 200. Did you enjoy this Faux Show? Well, guess what? You can catch more at JupiterBroadcasting.com and subscribe to the weekly RSS feed.
Hi, everybody. This is Faux Show. Hello, welcome to Faux Show 199. On this episode, we're going to talk about passwords.
That was great. Oh, my God. You're not recording, are you?
I am recording.
Oh, good.
Hello, and welcome to the Faux Show.
All right, hold down your Apple key again.
Time-appropriate greetings.
Okay, what do you think of that? What do you think of that, Zoom? Let go. What do you think of that?
It still looks really tiny.
Oh, that's better.
Hello.
Oh,
Mr. Popey.
Popey.
I just got an erection.
I know. I was just gonna say. Sexy voice.
Nurse.
Wow. Even my wife.
Do audiobooks.
Even my wife says you have a sexy. I am screwed, Popey. If you ever come visit us in Seattle, you stick with DC. I'm screwed if you ever come over here.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Guys, we have some big stuff coming up in these next couple days. Like
Like mega stuff?
Yeah, like mega stuff. You guys are
like super mega stuff?
Yes, you're gonna be blown away. I'm gonna do something that I've done before, but it's gonna be better, and it's technically gonna be something that I've never done before.
Hey Angela,
oh my God.
I'm totally ready for you to blow me away.
Are you
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna sit here and watch.
So okay, how's your reach? You feel like your reach is better now?
Oh my God.
What do you got?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
How's yours?
It's called sacrifices.
Screw yourself, woman. Screw yourself, woman. Screw yourself. That's what I have to say about that. You know what? I am an internet broadcasting professional, and I will adapt to the circumstances and be fine.
Is that the normal lighting that you use?
Yeah, boss.
It seems a little bright. No?
No.
Okay, I'll be right back. Your face.
Oh my god!
What's going on right now? I don't...
Micromanagement. Stream is like 10 seconds behind the mumble.
I don't know what's happening right now. So here's the thing. We'll wait. Now, Angela, I need you to get your head in your game. So
yeah?
Finish looking at your naked guy pictures, and then...
Oh, God.
All right.
You have my pictures?
He's a guy.
Wow.
Chat room is on board and ready to go.
What, do I lose my gender by being a corpse? Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, hold on. I'm still in the middle of changing everything.
Nice shoulder.
Hey everybody, it's Angela Fisher.
Oh my god. Who did that? Oh my god.
That was rotten.
Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of the Faux Show. Today is Sunday, November something. Yeah, it's something. I just looked at it.
It is the night.
Okay. Again.
All right, here we go. It is Faux Show 199.
Ooh, what does
happens
that mean?
Next? What happens next?
Is that 200?
I'd have to go double check. I'll ask Dylan. He's in school. He'll
That
know.
would be no. Okay.
I think we have bacon. I'm sure that's all that's going to happen
Just
for episode
bacon.
200.
You know,
it's just
we've
bacon.
already done a bacon episode.
Oh, better do something else then.